Okay, I'm back. It's your Master General. Um, Apparently, I watched the two videos I just made. They were way too blurry and they moved too much. So I'm gonna try to make these a little bit better. At least you guys saw the soap really well. But I want to show you what a dear friend of mine did this spring. And we all know it's just about Christmas time. And right around this part of the season, certain plants come to be mature and they make really beautiful things. And I think that's pretty beautiful. 18 and over, as always. I think you guys are getting a much better view of what I'm trying to show off here. Now, this is beautiful. And this came from a dear, lovely mentor of mine who has known me as a child and looked out for me all my life. And they did this wonderful, beautiful thing. It's just beautiful what they did. There's something to be said about experience. And because I helped cut the plants up, trim the plants up, I got a little bit of every kind. And I just want to show off this beautiful artwork. After I showed my wife's beautiful artwork, I want to do it justice. So this is another kind. The last kind was called D-Tang. This one here is called, let me see. This is Lemon OG. It's got slightly more of an army look to it. It's got those hidden red hairs behind these really crystally leaves. And you can totally tell where it gets its name from. Lemon. It smells really earthy and lemony and piney, and it's so far I think it's been my favorite. In fact, the last one, the D-Tang, that stuff is so strong. It's such a strong sativa. That was that big bud that I showed you out of this jar. That was so strong. That sativa was so strong that it got me paranoid because I smoked too much. And that doesn't happen too often. As you know, my videos are always 18 and over, at least. I don't know if this 21 and over law has to do anything with video, but I'm gonna go with what I learned growing up as a kid. That 18 and over meant you're adult. Now this one is called Apollo, and this one here is it's a beast, I'll tell you. And it it really just smokes beautifully. And we trimmed them up, and we thought about it. Should we take it right down to the hairs? But these little teeny fan leaves that you see on here, this stuff is still kind of moist. Those fan leaves are gonna curl up, and I don't know if you're a very traveled smoker, you know that when you see those leaves covering up those beautiful hairs and pistils in there, that you got some really good looking bud, and it's gonna be a real pleasure to smoke. And it is. And I just wanted to show this stuff off because I think it's pretty amazing. And I want to tell you that there's very little fertilizer used in the growing of these three strains, And the top cola on D-Tang, that big bud I showed you first, that wasn't a top cola. That was something really far down to the bottom. The top cola on the D-Tang was probably about a half pound by itself. And that's pretty big. I wish I could have got some pictures of that, but I wasn't going to film my mentor's house. That wouldn't be right. I don't want anybody to get the idea of trying to steal her hard work or, whatever. She wishes to remain anonymous, and he doesn't want anybody to know who he is. So we'll just keep it that way. And we know that this person has got some experience. Never really grew pot, back in the day when it was illegal. In fact, never grew pot back in the day when it was legal, as far as I know. Because I lived in California for 40 years, so I remember when all we could get was that Mexican brick brown crap. And we were happy if we got some of that, green bud, like I was just showing you, was gold. And it's not going to be expensive, it's not going to be expensive like towards the end of the season this year, when the weed started running out and getting low, the delivery companies that deliver weed now here, which is pretty cool, and the shops, even the shops, all their buds started to become really small, and popcorn really even smaller than popcorn. I'm talking, the size of just really, really small, unpleasantly small. You would look at it and say, "Oh, this is some Bama. I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna pay 120 for an ounce of this." And yeah, some of it didn't really get you stoned either. But now that we're coming into November and December here, we're gonna have the beginning of this year's crop, this year's end crop, which is going to be beautiful. And I'll say the Bay Area, certain parts of the Bay Area, between San Leandro and Union City, have this black soil that is just great for growing plants. I mean, zucchini, eggplant, cucumbers, Swiss chard, they all grow great in this black soil, and so does pot. I mean, really great. I mean, that stuff, they call it weed for a reason, but I mean, it takes off like it's got a mission to just get as big as it can. And then you think, oh, it's never going to put out buds, and then all of a sudden it's so heavy it's starting to split its actual stalk, its stem, its trunk. And some of them, I would say, were, my forearms aren't very big since my operation, but the trunks were as big as my forearm. That's pretty big. The ground trunks, they were growing like trees. They just came out so beautiful. I can't say enough about them. I really appreciate my mentor and my elder letting me help. That was very nice of them to let me help. And then, I expected I would pay for this stuff because it was so great, and just because I helped, I got to keep everything that I clipped, which I'm going to turn into butter, and which is a cool process, and maybe I'll show that too. But also, gave me a jar of each of the strains, a nice jar too, and I'm really thankful. I really am. I really am thankful. Thank you very much for that. That was an unexpected pleasure. I had a great time sitting with you and clipping them up and everything. We had conversations and they were it was a fun time. I really enjoyed myself, and I got to see some people that I haven't seen in a while that I love dearly, and that was cool too. And so basically, I'm just capping off the videos that I made earlier. I'm throwing them out here, one, two, three, real quick, like I guess. But I wanted to cover a lot of different stuff. You know, I am the hash master. I love to talk. I can't shut my mouth. And I promised I was gonna let everybody see my no teeth. Huh? There they are, no teeth. I'm gonna get a plate coming here in about a week and a half, and everybody can see my new smile, which I'm looking forward to. It really feels it's really degrading when you don't have your front teeth like this, and you lisp and you talk funny and your lips sit funny and you look and you it's really hard on your not your ego but your self your not your self-respect. Gosh, I always forget words. I always forget my vocabulary when I'm doing this. um I just put it in it really bugs you. It makes you feel down in the dumps and not as good as everybody else, and makes you feel kind of like a drug addict, even though I didn't lose my teeth because I was a drug addict. You can tell my bottoms are beautiful. See, my bottoms are beautiful. I lost my teeth because of a crappy over the counter drug for the stomach, and 1 in 10,000 people get the side effect of dry mouth, and uh, it destroys the stuff on top of your teeth that makes them. Uh, Geez, I can't remember any of my words, so I'm just gonna give up. I didn't lose my teeth because I was smoking crack or meth or anything like that, or shooting heroin. I lost my teeth because of an over-the-counter drug that had a very bad effect on teeth for 1 in 10,000 people, and I just happened to be one of them. And I think I said that in the last video, so I'm gonna just dump that. But I did promise I would show them if you signed up, and if you sign up and you get the keychain still, and for a limited time, if you drop me a line, you don't just get the keychain. I'll send you the glow stick too, which let me just show you. Still glowing really good, even in this light room. You can still see it's lit more than the rest of the room. It works really well. And I said I had packs of 3, and I had some that were bigger than the kind that you normally get, and I'm gonna give those away. I wish I could give some of this away to some of my kinder followers. Um, because I got some really good people that follow me. But I can't. But if I ever meet you in public, I'm gonna ask if you want to go burn one and have a nice little meal somewhere. Um, as always, prayer requests are always granted. I love everybody. Even if you hate me, it doesn't matter. I still love you. Um, Christ is the way and the light. Uh, Got to throw that in there always. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him and his guidance and where he's taken me. And all the good people that have supported me through my travels. I just like to thank them as well. Uh, this is the Hashmaster General. I will always be the Hashmaster General, and I will always be here for you. Have a great night. Have a good weekend. Goodbye, TV Land.